close enough, you know? Something like that, I imagine. Anyway. Second question. What will happen if Old Man Logan and Mad Max met each other in a bar? Man, those two... Yeah, Mad Max has a shitty life, but Logan and Old Man Logan has a pretty shitty life too. So I think they would really come together over some beer and maybe kill everyone in the bar when someone says something stupid. Something like that. Do you think that Mad Max can survive in the world of Attack on Titan? Nah, those are Titans. He's used to fighting war boys and whatnot. So, he'd probably get eaten. Unless you can get, like, Mad Max Titan, which I don't even know what that would be, honestly. So think of those questions, Andre. Partridge. Moving on now to James Brady, who only has one question. He asks, thoughts on the sequel to Fury Road should be about? I think with the sequel to... It can be anything, really, because all the films, when you think about all of the Mad Max films, they're all really standalone pieces. You can literally... watch all of them and have Mad Max, but you can literally watch Fury Road, Thunderdome, and Road Warrior and be like, and it will feel like you don't need to watch the other films because they're all kind of like standalone pieces. Really, like all the films together just are kind of like standalone pieces. Although Road Warrior does have some correlation to Mad Max, but it tells you everything in the beginning of the film, so you don't really need to watch the first Mad Max film when it comes down to it. Anyway, so thank you for that question, James. Moving on now to Son of the Dragon, who asks, how would the Equestria girls survive in the world of Mad Max? I think Sunset Shimmer would be the Mad Max type character since she already has the jacket for it. I think Pinkie Pie would be totally like Cupcake's Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash would be like a war boy or a war girl. Applejack would be trying to harvest apples or radioactive apples. Shimmer would be Max. Rarity, I don't even want to know what happened to Rarity. And Fluttershy, I don't know, she becomes like a cannibal queen or something. It's always the quiet ones, Alright. Second question. What if the cars in all of the movies were Transformers? They would probably look like the shit you see in the Michael Bay films. Because literally, they're all kind of junky and, really poorly constructed. I just kind of imagine they would be like a very, very, very junky version of the Bayformers, Third question. How would Steven and the Crystal Gems react to the world of Mad Max, as well as Max himself, as well as Lord Humongous, Wez, and all the other villains? Probably, keep surviving. That's kind of their main point on all of this, is like they just keep fighting no matter what. Alright. Thank you for those questions, Dragon. Moving on now to Donald Moore, who asks, what do you think of a Mad Max Evil Dead crossover? I think that would be cool. Like, maybe have some cult discover the Necronomicon, and now you have post-apocalyptic Deadites running around, or maybe they possess cars. That'd be cool. It'd be kind of like Dragula's. Not the song Dragula, like the cars, like they would be these just Monster Mash cars, That would be kind of badass, really. Okay, thank you for that question, Donald. Moving on now to Toot Toot Sonic Warrior. And he asks, and this person asks, how would you write a Mad Max versus Godzilla story? I think what I would do is have that Godzilla and the other kaiju have just been kind of sleeping, and now they're awoken due to the nuclear war, and and Godzilla and the others are just now worshipped as gods. Kind of like do the same thing in the IDW comic Godzilla Cataclysm, but, have a better plot summarizing of that, because that story's not bad, it's just I feel like it should have been a little longer and should have touched on the more kaiju's worship as god thing. Anyway. So, moving on now to Alex Inayez, who asks, Is it a bit debatable question, but do you think Max himself is a real person or simply a Wasteland myth? He's a real person, or else we wouldn't be following him for 4 movies. That's all I have to say on that. Second question: do you think any of your own ideas? Have you any ideas for a Mad Max villain? Since, well, they're also wacky and zany. I had just a rough idea for a villain called Papa Violence. But that was really it, just the name. I was just like, yeah, Papa Violence. I have no idea what he does, I was just going on the name. Which I feel like George Miller does. He's like, Immortan Joe! That's a great idea! Call the other one the Bullet Farmer! I'm gonna make characters later, I just like the names. Anyway. Second question, that was the second question. Third question, if the Crystal Gems survived the apocalypse... Okay, this is another question. Would they still keep defending humanity? Probably. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, moving on now to... think of those questions, Alex. Moving on now to Trevor Smolka, whose first question is, what is your opinion of the Mad Max series as a whole, and what is your favorite movie from the entire Mad Max series? I really like it. Road Warrior and Fury Road, probably the 2 best, but everyone would probably say that because it's pretty much true. So, favorite film would have to be either Road Warrior or Fury Road. Thunderdome's not bad. Mad Max I just can't sit through. Anyway, so that's how I see it. Second question, what would happen if Mad Max crossed over Judge Dredd? Do you think they'd ever team up with each other, or do you think they'd try to kill each other? Kind of imagine they would try to kill each other, really. That's how I'm seeing it right now. Anyway, what is your opinion on the Mad Max video game? I haven't played it, so I can't tell you. So, moving on. Thank you for those questions, Trevor. Moving on now to John Kelly, who asks, can you give Max one power from an anime, what is it? If I was to give him one power, it would be the power of Zawaldo! If you ever watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you're welcome. Second question. One of your favorite cartoons does a Mad Max themed episode. Which show would you choose? Which show would I choose to do a Mad Max themed episode? Maybe do Gravity Falls, just because I want to see what that would be like, just to see like what that would be like of seeing Dipper or Mabel kind of be like Immortan Joe or Lord Humongous. Let's do that now. Anyway, third question. Max becomes a Ghost Rider. How fast will he miss using his new powers? I think that would be kind of cool. Well, you can kind of see like a Mad Max inspired car from the new Ghost Rider, the young kid. But yeah, I just kind of imagine that would be his design of his car and his costume design as a Ghost Rider. That's just me though. So think of those questions, John Kelly. Moving on now to BooRat01, who asks, hypothetically, let's say HBO or AMC were going to make a Mad Max TV series, where and when would you like it to be set? I think if HBO or AMC were going to make it, those would probably be the 2 shows by the 2 stations, by the way, who I could see doing a Mad Max show. Because I mean, hell, HBO's doing a TV series based on Westworld, which is an awesome movie, by the way. I suggest everyone go check that out if you haven't already. I think what they should do with it is just keep it as it is, just these because we all know the story. We all know the story of Mad Max, and we've seen the first movie enough. I think they should just do like these episodic stories of Mad Max going from place to place. Just keep with that kind of theme. All right. Second question: if given the chance with what franchise genre would you like to see? What would you like to see Mad Max cross over with? Would you like to see Max take on zombies, aliens, robots, magical, interdimension, Lovecraftian horrors? I think I kind of just like Mad Max as it is, because I'm kind of getting tired of zombies. Aliens would be kind of a stretch in this kind of world. Robots, maybe robots, kind of like something like maybe he fights a robot that's something like the giant Super Patriot from Fallout, maybe something like that. Anyway, Third question. This one can be connected to my first question, or you can completely detach from it. But what villains from previous movies would you like to see somehow come back for a sequel or new adventures in the Mad Max Wastelands? Do bring back characters? Maybe Lord Humongous? Like, there's a new Lord Humongous and he's kind of like Bane? That's the best I got. Anyway. So thank you for those questions, Boo Rat. Moving on now to Nicholas Harley, who asks, what is Mad Max, the Mad Max series about? It's about a dude who has gone completely batshit bonkers in a world that is left after the nuclear holocaust. That is the best way I could... You can watch any of the movies out of order and still feel like you caught up everything. Second question: what would Mad Max react if he was if he was Future Trunks' timeline during the androids attacked? I think he would be completely holy shit, a time traveler! That would be his only thought at the moment. Third question: how would you think Max would react to seeing Mount Massive Asylum from the game series Outlast? Well, unfortunately, I haven't played Outlast, so I couldn't tell you, unfortunately. Probably be scared out of his mind, though. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Nicholas. Moving on now to Linerman0245, who asks, what would happen if Max had to fight a roving game of Reavers in the Wasteland? Max would be torn up, but I think he would survive it. Second question: Immortan Joe reacts to the following universes: Yu Yu Hakusho, Gravity Falls, Crossed, Penny Dreadful, Berserk, Nightbreed, SpongeBob, and especially the Chrome Future and Steven universe. He would be like, this is Valhalla! Not what I expected. Oh, man. Third question: how would you feel if Mad Max or any of the psychopaths in the Wasteland fought robots like Megas XLR? I'm surprised. I would not be surprised if they did something like... Now that I think about it, and this kind of correlates to the robot thing Boo-Rat was talking about, but I would not be surprised, like, if, George Miller's sitting around writing the next Mad Max film, he's like, you know what I want? A giant 50-foot fucking robot that is made from car parts and looks like it could beat the shit out of Optimus Prime, and it's gonna attack Max. Boom, we're doing it. I feel like the more I do this, the longer I do this Q&A, the more I'm kind of understanding George Miller's writing process for these films. But anyway, so it looks like that is pretty much the last question for this Q&A. I want to thank everyone for handing in questions. This was a ton of fun, and I'm really glad I got a huge turnout for this, because I didn't know how many questions I would get for this. So really glad I got a really good turnout for this. So thank you all for the questions. Once again, if I did not answer someone's question, that usually means YouTube was being a dick, so I apologize on that behalf. But anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this Q&A on a whole, and I will see you guys later.